for the benefit of the listeners who maybe haven't seen Monster-in-Law, should we briefly describe the plot?
Yeah. Well, it was your pick, so off you go.
Oh, I'm always really bad at this. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Decade Old Podcast. I'm your host, Conor Curie, and I'm joined as always by Gloria Shannon.
Hello.
Karen O'Sullivan.
Hi.
And Richard Travers.
Hell yeah.
Well, this month in the Decade Old Podcast we covered May of 2005, and the 4 movies we watched were Monster-in-Law, Madagascar, The Longest Yard, and Unleashed, starring Jet Li. And I think we're going to kick it off with Monster-in-Law. Jennifer Lawrence, there, I did it, sorry. Jennifer Lopez plays a sort of dog walker / yoga instructor / general
/ everything.
Spiritual hippie type person.
/ dropped out of school.
She runs into a doctor working at a club she caters for. They fall in love, they get engaged, but she finds out that this guy has a bitch of a mother. You know, the queen of all bitches.
Psychotic bitch.
Played by Jane Fonda. In her first role after something like 11, 12 years. Might even be more than that. And that's basically it. The plot stops after she meets the mother, and it's just a series of gags involving Jane Fonda trying to break the two of them up. So, guys, what did you think?
It was okay.
It was fairly bad.
Bit shy TBH.
TBH?
Yes.
Was that to be honest?
Yes.
Yes.
Tuberculosis honest.
WTF, guys.
Tuberculosis hottie.
This was the first movie out of all of them we've watched so far that I actually saw in the cinema. I saw it on the very last day of primary school.
Oh, really?
Yep. I went to see it with all my classmates.
Oh, I forget I'm older than you guys. I was in first year, I think, when this came out. I was 13. So.
And I knew it was bad at the time. I just didn't know how bad it was.
It is pretty bad, but like, Jane Fonda is pretty funny in it. That's what saves it for me as being like the worst film of all time.
Jennifer Lopez is a fucking terrible actress. She can't act, she can't sing, she's a cunt. Why doesn't she just fuck off back to Puerto Rico?
Richard, that's a bit harsh.
She's awful though. Name one thing the world would miss if she didn't just fucking blow leaves in some rich cunt's garden in San Diego.
Her arse.
Fuck her arse. Not in that sense. Her arse is useless. There's 1,000 better holes than hers, by.
Okay, so whose?
Why not the fucking Iggy Azalea has a way better hole than she does, like.
Well, what about for like Iggy Azalea is only coming out now? What would the world have done before Iggy Azalea was legal?
I'm sure there was other holes back 10 years ago.
The amount of wanks that people have probably had over Jennifer Lopez.
That's only because the internet was slow and shite back then.
Jesus, you really have this hatred for
She's
J-Lo.
so stupid.
Well,
what about Jenny from the Block, like?
You've gotten her wish because she's kind of fucked off by this stage.
Thank God the fuck.
Oh no, she had a song, Getting Ill, Getting Sick
Is
on
that
the
recent?
floor.
Take a favourite kiss is.
That was it was a couple of years ago now, but Aiden absolutely hates that song.
Well, I mean, she starred in, what was that awful movie, Giggly? Gigi?
Yeah.
What's Gigi?
It's Ben Affleck and her.
Yeah, and they had the old Bennifer fiasco and everyone hated them afterwards, so she kind of went away after that, didn't she?
Yeah, I think some lad painted a face in his hand and posed as Jennifer Lopez and
can't
stole her job.
I can't remember her in a movie after Monster-in-Law. This was the last thing that I remember her in.
Possibly. I'm trying to, like, I haven't actually watched that many movies with her in it, or maybe I have. Just forget, because they're never. She is a terrible actress. I will give you that. Like, all her movies are quite bad with regards to her acting. Even movies I like Made in Manhattan, still not any Oscar-winning performances from her. Like,
who remembers her in The Cell?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
Jesus, no one knows a Cell.
No.
So I think Monster-in-Law is in contention for worst movie that we've reviewed so far.
No.
The only one that may take its place was A Lot Like Love from last month. The weird thing about Monster-in-Law is the script is spectacularly bad. None of the characters behave in any way resembling how a real person would act in real life.
Just one of those examples. Her boyfriend's a doctor. He's been carrying around a ring for 2 weeks. he decides the day his crazy mother comes out of a psychiatric hospital as the day to propose. The man's a doctor, for Christ's sake. Should he not know better?
Well, there's so many more fucked up
yeah,
examples.
there's a lot
It's
more.
like, I mean,
Doesn't the mother try to poison Charlie? Or is it Charlie?
Yes, but then thinks second of it. But yeah, she tries to
Yeah,
put
but
nuts in the
okay.
gravy.
That's a bit ridiculous. Like a normal person would not do that. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people have had mother-in-law and daughter-in-law issues, but they don't try to poison them just because they don't like them or they can't control their son anymore.
one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in a movie is the Jane Fonda character sends a woman to seduce her son.
That is like a
It
great
is
myth.
so wrong. It's and it doesn't even make sense as well, because one of the things that the Jane Fonda character doesn't like about, I can never remember the character's names, the Jennifer
Charlie.
Lopez character, was it Charlie?
Yeah.
Is that quote unquote she's been with a lot of men. Wasn't it? Wasn't that one of the things?
Yeah,
She
but-
suspects.
Okay, maybe it's in this whole like theory. I've literally heard this before, right? There's the girls you have fun with and there's the girls you marry. I don't agree with that statement, but basically, you know, you can have your sluts, but you don't bring them home
But
to your
then,
mother.
the mother sends like the slut of sluts up to seduce her son.
Yeah, because she doesn't expect him to marry this slut. She just wants him to fuck up the relationship enough
Okay,
to
you think that's
get
what
Charlie
was-
to leave.
Okay, fair enough. But there's a weird fucking thing going on.
No, it's
Yeah,
still
it's-
weird. It's still extremely
It is
weird. Like,
kind
go
of-
and have sex with my son. It's very, very strange. But I think that was her motive behind it, not to get him in a relationship with her, just to break up the relationship with Charlie.
Okay. So I mean, another thing that happens that I'm assuming never happens in real life is the husband or the fiance character invites his mother-in-law to stay with them, like indefinitely. Is that it?
Yeah,
Is
that could
that a thing that
because
happens?
she's ill.
Yeah, it wasn't indefinitely. It was just until she got better. And
Yeah, that happens in tons of families and it causes tons of problems. But yeah, that definitely is like, you know, are you telling me that if your mother was psychotically ill, you wouldn't be like, Alison,
Yeah,
that's
but
his future wife, according to a 9-year-old psychic. You know, Alison, I'm sorry, but we have to take my mum in for a while.
well,
and
you know,
after
just
her.
in this case,
After all your mother's done for you.
well, it's just
Stay
in
with
this
me.
example, Jane Fonda's character is incredibly rich and she has carers and a mansion to live in. She didn't need to move in with her son. And
Yeah,
her
but
That
daughter-in-law.
shows no
The-
compassion,
yeah,
though.
the doctor's justification is it'd be better for her to have family and people that love her around her. Well, she could have tons of staff. They wouldn't be that, like, you know.
I mean, a carer might be great to actually do things that maybe if she was like paralyzed or something and she needed constant 24-hour care of
I have a
like,
feeling you might be
going
playing
to the
devil's
bathroom
advocate
and
here.
everything. But
I mean, imagine if you were engaged to your current boyfriend and he knew you had a tense relationship with his mother. Would he invite his mother to live with you and then, you know, fuck off to wherever he is so the two of you can then stew in this house together?
Was the man kind of stupid?
I mean,
Did he not see
I
it,
don't
though?
think I'm being unreasonable here.
But is the
No.
man kind of stupid and doesn't really realise
I'm
that
not saying
the mother
it's
hates
not a
him?
bit of an arsehole move, and I'm not saying I wouldn't be angry, but I'm also saying I can understand it. Mothers have a strong connection with their sons, and they have an incredible ability to make them feel guilty. So therefore, she played the. I don't think it just happened, did it? Didn't she kind of make him?
She hired a doctor to be like, yeah.
She made him feel like this was the only option, and you know, I gave birth to you, and after all I did for you and everything, you know, your parents are your parents, and as much as they can annoy you and everything, you feel like you owe them. They raised you, they looked after you, they made you the person you are today, so you kind of want to make sure that they're okay. So she played the mother card, which trumped the girlfriend card in this case, or the wife card, or whatever.
Hey guys, did any of you recognise the actor who played Dr. Chamberlain?
It wasn't Will Arnett, no.
No, it wasn't Will Arnett.
I like Will Arnett.
He's a favourite of mine. He has my favourite on-screen death of any character ever. He was the guy whose flesh gets eroded in The Mummy.
That's great. I still don't recognise him.
It's not Brendan Fraser.
No, he's not Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
In a better world, he would have played Brendan Fraser's character in The Mummy.
In a better world,
He's
Brendan
actually-
Fraser would have more roles.
He's actually dead in real life, Stephen Dunham. Are you sad?
Well, I don't know him.
Did his
so
flesh
not
get
really.
eaten off in real life?
No.
No.
So basically, there was nothing good about this film.
Uh,
For you, anyway.
There was one scene I liked. Remember in the car where Wanda from Curb Your Enthusiasm tells Jane Fonda's character that her son has a new boyfriend, and she does the thing with the car roof.
Her son has a new boyfriend.
Yeah,
Girlfriend.
her son has a new girlfriend.
I was
Why?
like, what? What movie was he watching?
Yeah, she does the thing with the electronic car roof. That was a nice little gag, I thought.
Okay, so that's the only gag you enjoyed.
That and Stephen Dunham was in it.
Just because he was in it, okay. Well, like, yeah, it wasn't a particularly good movie. I remember thinking it was okay when I was 13, but then again, I was 13.
Mm. One of my favourite aspects of watching these movies from 10 years ago is the dated music. Well, it had that song by Jem. What was it? It's just a ride, it's just a ride.
Yeah.
That one.
I love that
Oh,
song.
yeah.
Is Jim not fucking older than the 2000s?
I don't know.
Was Jim not like a cartoon in the 80s?
That's fucking Jen and the holograms.
What's the difference? They all sing.
Ugh.
No, I seriously do not know.
Well, I'm cutting that out.
Richard,
Honest to God,
stop.
I'm not being funny.
Richard, behave yourself. We're going to start talking about your bald patches again.
Not there.
He's frantically checking his head for bald patches.
Because they're not there.
Right, so have we, like... I think we've exhausted Monster and I just don't... Like, there's nothing to talk about. It wasn't a great movie. There, like... Even Richard wasn't impressed by a beautiful woman's arse. I
What
mean,
beautiful woman was in that
although
movie?
you're more of a rack man, so...
Exactly, yeah.
Did she have a good rack? I don't know. No one ever
I
asked
don't know,
for
if
a
she
rack.
could be amazing and I just wouldn't like her anyway. Because, you know, I don't like Jennifer Lopez.
Why did Jane Fonda come back for this? I mean, she's a fantastic
But
actress.
she got to play a bitch in
but
it.
she'd been retired for years,
good at playing
and
bitches.
this is the script that made her come back.
Because
I mean,
Jane
it's
Fonda needs to
embarrassing.
pay her car bills. Pretty sure Jane Fonda has kids that are
Possibly,
going
like-
through college and buying a house.
But maybe it looked like a good script. I don't know how. But maybe it looked like a good script when it was just
On paper.
on paper.
I've always wondered that about actors. Is it possible to tell if something's a good script or not?
Well, like, it's not
being
actually
produced?
their... Actors are paid to just, you know, like, it's their job to act and to try and do their best with the script they're given. I don't know if
But surely
a
someone
really
like
good actor should be able to tell a good script from a bad script, but is it really part of the skill set of being an actor to
Well,
be able
that's-
to tell a good script from a bad
You see,
script?
that's what I was asking. And I was thinking, did Jane Fonda think this is a good script? But why do so many great actors make so many bad films? Like, I don't know, why is Michael Caine in Jaws
But I
the
think
Revenge?
sometimes
you know, why-
if there's one element that's bad, so the director, like, who directed it?
the direction
Robert-
was nothing in this. It was
like,
completely flat.
like
Alan Smithy.
Robert
Lutic.
Lutic.
Lutic, I can't pronounce it. But he directed it. Maybe he was just a shit director, and maybe the script wasn't as terrible, and then it was like
Just
No,
maybe it was an okay script, and then it was an okay director, and then that makes a shit film.
I'd
And
say,
then Jennifer Lopez on top of that, like.
I'd say 100% the problem with this movie is the script. I mean, the direction is just flat. Like, it's nothing. But
Well, then maybe,
You're right
like
there.
you said, maybe Jane Fonda just didn't realise
Yeah.
it was a crap
it's an
film.
interesting
Or
thought, though.
maybe Richard's right and she just had to pay her car bills and her electricity or whatever. I mean, actors do eventually run out of money too. They're not an endless tap of money. They need to work.
Cocaine isn't cheap.
They have big lavish lifestyles, but then they also need big lavish paychecks to pay for it, really, don't they?
Okay, so here's a few odds and ends that I just couldn't get over. Remember when Jane Fonda's character passes out and she like sleeps face down in a bowl of food?
yeah.
Couldn't she have suffocated?
I don't think she
yeah.
actually passed out, did she?
She was asleep.
Drugged to
Was she
sleep,
up?
yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I don't think people think of these things.
It's just meant to be funny. I mean, I don't think this film hired a real doctor to be like, yeah, would that actually
Why
happen?
would Dr. Chamberlain come to the dinner?
Jennifer
There's
Lopez's character invited him to put the mother on the spot by proving that he knows absolutely nothing about medicine.
I know, but why would he come? Isn't she... Wouldn't he realise that he's just being put in a position to expose himself and the mother?
I don't think he's smart enough to care.
There you go.
Maybe he was just hungry and wanted food.
Exactly. I mean, he got invited to dinner and probably didn't think about, oh, I'm meant to come playing a doctor.
There's a lot of things about this movie that don't make sense or that just would never happen in real life. It's just one of those movies.
Yeah, the mother talking about her son's erection.
Stop.
Well, you never know. You could have a free spirit, but she doesn't seem like, you know, I could imagine like a hippie-ish kind of like Meet the Fockers, that mother.
No,
I can imagine her now talking about Ben Stiller's erection and whatnot, but
These are the fruitful lines.
yeah,
Stop.
but not. Will you calm down? We're not talking about your mother.
You don't want me talking
Oh
about
my
holes
god,
and
he's
you're
holding
talking
his
about
stomach. Are
erect.
you going to shit yourself?
Like, what other little odd things did you have issue with?
I thought that scream that Jane Fonda does when she attacks that girl, that was really cheesy and unnatural. Also, what kind of talk show was that?
Obviously, one that wasn't going to last for very much longer.
But the question she asked her, like, how old are you and what do you do for fun?
No, but she wouldn't have usually asked that question. It was because she was under pressure or just after losing a job. That, like, that's why they were even like looking at it, kind of being like, "Why is she asking these things?"
Stop making excuses.
Obviously, there wasn't much thought or care put into this script, and did it actually make any money?
Yes, it made loads. Its budget was 43 million and its box office was well over
Well, then it made
154
Jane
million.
Fonda a happy girl. So it's despite the fact that it was shit, it made loads of money. So
That's a shame.
that's, you know, that's the aim of the game. Unfortunately, people talk stuff like, "Oh, I want to make art," but a lot of people just want to line their pockets. So
Hollywood is a factory. It produces movies. They don't all have to be good, as long as people are willing to sit through them.
Just ask Michael Bay.
Okay, so moving on to our next film, Madagascar.
let's just get this over with. My name's Gloria, obviously, and there's a character in it called Gloria, and she's a hippo. And that's all I'm going to say, and then the rest can choose whether or not they're going to say the next bit.
Gloria.
You are in many ways like the character, though.
I'm not.
You
Thanks.
not really.
I know I have a
No.
big arse, but like,
No,
come on
not
now,
that.
Karen. That's
I
not
know,
fair.
you break up fights.
Yeah, you force us to talk to each other. You have that scene where Gloria's like, "Yeah, go talk to Marty and fix this now. You go."
Oh, no, Gloria's the Irish mammy, but what's her face? Hippo, or Gloria the Hippo was more the sassy black lady.
Yeah, it's like I thought she was more like.
But the hippo in the movie is very much the mother character. And,
She tries to keep the span together.
I don't know, not really.
and out of the dynamic of the four of us, you are very much the mother of us.
Okay, but it's just my personality then, not my big fat arse.
I don't see Gloria
And when
the
I
Hippo,
don't do
Gloria the Lady.
cannonballs into a pool either and splash which one of you ever wants to pretend you're Alex.
Alex was actually cool. He was actually.
And let's not even talk about Melvin.
I know Alex was actually a really funny character. Like, just there was some scenes, he's just fucking snarky and all that. I liked Alex.
He's just
a lot.
so in love with himself.
Yeah.
Well, should we go through who?
Yeah,
did this?
someone wanted to describe the plot of Madagascar.
Okay, it was my film. Madagascar is about an animated film where more than four animals from the New York Central Zoo. Marty's the zebra. He decides he's kind of sick of life in the zoo and doing the same thing every day and wants to escape to the wild, which for him is Connecticut. So he decides to get a train to Connecticut. His friends try to leave to stop him, and it proves that the animal rights activists were right and that they should be shipped back to natural habitat. But on their way to Kenya, they fall off a ship and end up in Madagascar, in the actual wild and not a controlled environment. And eventually the lion comes across trouble, as in he no longer gets steak fed to him on a silver platter and now wants to eat his best friend.
Which is
kind of
Marty the zebra. Yeah, that's kind of it. But like, it's very good for the kids. I know the 4-year-old we were watching with fell asleep, but she was wrecked, so that doesn't count. But
So
I
if
think it's
Gloria's
good
the
for
hippo, who are the rest of us?
No one really.
Well, I'm Alex anyway, because I'm a Leo.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're Alex because you're in love with yourself.
I don't know. Alex isn't really nihilistic though.
Karen, I'd say, is the giraffe.
Melvin.
No, not at all.
She's not a
Well,
hypochondriac.
she can't be the zebra, can she?
No, no one is really like fucking
No
Marty or
one's like-
Melvin.
Yeah. And you're not really that much like Alex.
You're not like Alex at all, really.
I am
at all.
though.
No,
I mean, that's funny.
nothing at all.
You just want to be like
Yeah.
Alex because he's like the main character.
Yeah, but I'm the main character of this podcast.
But you're not like. Well, then you're fucking Jennifer Lopez from the last
Well,
movie. Then
most people listen to this podcast to listen to Richard talk shite, not you. For God news for
But
you.
I'm the host.
Yeah, but like there are these programs that the hosts whatever, and then people watch it for other reasons.
But I'm-
Richard is the reason.
But I'm the one who
Richard's the
ties
star.
up. I'm the one. I'm the star.
and
I'm only.
Richard is
half
the
of my
star.
stuff is getting censored.
Am I only hearing about this now? But I'm the one who ties everything together and edits
Yeah, I
it.
know
and-
you're the host, but Richard's the star.
T.
Okay, so you're Marty, if anything,
The movie.
and he's Alex.
I don't think I'm like Alex at all, though. Really.
No, but in terms of like
If
the
we're
casting,
if we're
so
stretching
Marty
this around
was
the
like
world, okay.
the whole story kind of started off because of Marty, right? But so like this podcast started off because of Conor, but then Alex kind of stole the show.
Okay, back to the
Yeah.
actual film.
That's it.
He's quitting.
Okay,
Out the
welcome.
building.
Welcome to Decade Old Podcast. I'd like you to present our lead host, Richard Travers.
I don't know. I think I works better as a number
He
2.
just walked out. He can't handle this.
He'll be
He just
back.
did a Jane Fonda on it, lads.
We are recording a breakthrough in the making.
Fitzy, there's only a half an hour left. Get your ass back in here.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're the star.
Stop being a bitch.
You have to introduce me, right?
Lads, introducing El Duce, El Führer, El Lord of the Universe, fucking Fitzaruni, mate.
Self-proclaimed Lord of the Podcast.
King of the Cosmos. The Taoiseach.
Oh my
The
god.
Prime Minister.
Now
We
you're
just
King
locked us in
Julian.
here.
Oh dear.
Does someone have a phone?
This is it. We're dead.
That door doesn't have a doorknob.
Is this a haunted house?
Like
This
one.
podcast is taking a turn for the worse. Shit.
Right, just back
Right.
in here. And
So anything. I think Chris Rock was miscast as Marty. I think Marty should have had someone who sounded more naive and kind of wide-eyed, and Chris Rock sounds too fucking cool.
I
I like
Marty
I
as
like him as
thing.
well.
I just thought it didn't suit his character. Like, you know, Marty's all kind of innocent. Like
He's a little, but then, like, you know, no.
Yeah,
I
but
like
no,
Chris
I
Rock.
really
Chris
liked
Rock
him,
would have
yeah.
been even good as Marty, like, because Chris Rock is kind of fucking sassy and all that. But I don't know. They should have gotten someone more kind of innocent.
I like to.
Maybe a bit younger as well for Marty too.
I like him as Marty. I actually really like this film. I thought as animated films goes, it's really clever. And
I
like
liked it
Good for
Animated.
DreamWorks anyway.
yeah, like and he had all the other like side animals like there's these crazy penguins and the two
Yeah, the
monkeys.
Yeah,
and
penguins.
And they even have like a whole penguin series now. The Penguins of Madagascar or something.
Yeah.
It's a whole series now.
So you would think this is better than the last DreamWorks film we watched, Shark Tale?
Oh, it's a lot better
Yes.
than Shark
I
Tale.
think
Yeah.
Monster Law is better than Shark Tale.
It was very good. We saw product placement again.
Well, it was Times Square, so it was kind of hard to.
Coca-Cola and
But
everything.
you couldn't
But
really have time. to
Shark
Shark
like-
Tale was literally just an advert from the start of the film to the end of the film, whereas Madagascar just had, I don't know, I liked it. It had good characters and it had good gags for the kids.
They didn't try to put the
lemurs
actors'
and
faces
stuff
onto
were
the
hilarious.
animals.
And the cute the thing, I don't know what it was.
It's a
with
baby
the
lemur.
lemurs. Oh, it's a baby lemur. It looks completely different. With the eyes, and it's so cute.
I really liked it. Maybe the first act and maybe the second act as well, but I thought it sort of grinded to a halt in the third act and then kind of died a death in the end.
The ending was funny though.
That's probably because we were hungry when we were watching it. We were getting hangry.
Hangry.
Hangry is a word I've only discovered since
Yes.
yesterday.
And he doesn't. Is it you that doesn't think that it's a thing? Hangry is when you're so hungry that you get angry.
That's what my French stepdad says when he just tries to say hungry normally. Hungry.
Have none of you ever heard of hangry? Oh my god, it's actually like it's a thing. Google it. Hangry. You get like you're just like so hungry that you're like, fuck you. Just get me food. I just need food. It's like if you haven't eaten all day or something.
We see this.
And then every little thing annoys you because you just want food. And it seems like everything's getting in your way of getting food.
No, won't say it.
We see this is another
What?
reason why I'm like Alex. Because Alex wants to eat his best friend, and I'm planning to kill Richard and replace him with
Oh,
someone
shit,
who will
yeah,
follow
he's gonna
my
eat
orders.
me.
Now Richard's gonna walk out. Oh wait, we're
Great.
locked in here, so he can't.
Well, hey, the movie.
He's gonna Jeffrey Dahmer me.
What else do we like about it? Any
The animation
issues
in
with
it was, for a CGI movie, was kind of too lively and too jittery. It almost felt like a vaudeville show at sometimes. Like, maybe it would have worked better as a 2D animation. It was very slapdicky, kind of fucking Three Stooges kind of.
I feel like you
old
don't
school.
like it. Like,
No,
you
I
don't
do like it.
the
I just
film.
kind of noticed it was kind of weird for a CGI movie to be that kind of lively and animated. Like, in Shrek, they all move like real people or real animals. And even fucking, what you call that yoke? Shark Tale, where they had the freaky fish face. At least they still swam like fish. But in this, they kind of moved more like either vaudeville dancers or 2D cartoons.
I don't know. Well, I
Or
don't-
Looney
I
Tune
liked it.
characters. I don't know, it's still good. Like, the characters didn't look bad. It was just the way they moved I found kind of odd.
In the 90s, the giraffe would have been voiced by Andy Dick.
No fucking way.
No, I know, but
He was
he
voiced
would
by-
have been.
Was it David Schwimmer, was it?
It was David
Yeah.
Schwimmer, but if this was the 90s, he'd be voiced
But
by
he
Andy
was still
Dick.
big
I
in the
think it
90s.
was. I think David Schwimmer fit it really well
Yeah, he was very
because
good.
even I think Melvin's a bit like his character Ross from Friends, like
Yeah,
kind of a hypochondriac,
character.
kind of nervous and
his character.
I liked Madagascar.
yeah, it was good.
The
It
song
did-
kind of annoyed me a bit just because it was repetitive.
The
Which
point
song?
is,
The Move It song.
I like to move it.
Yeah.
I like to move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it.
I thought it was grand over and all. Like,
to
wait, it's good by DreamWorks standards anyway.
They talked to her in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I just thought it was good, and like it had stuff that would be funny for like that's the perfect cartoon film, isn't it? An animated film. It has to have gags for the adults and it has to have gags for the kids. It has to.
Yeah.
So I think it managed.
They've
both.
made a number of sequels since.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've
And I
seen
think
them?
they've been quite
Um,
successful.
I liked Madagascar 2. I didn't like Madagascar 3. I think they just...
And isn't there a spin-off series?
The Penguins,
The
yeah.
Yeah.
Penguins, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen the kids watch it, and they literally like they're in stitches. And I think the penguins are actually hilarious.
I liked things. They're hilarious. They are absolutely crazy. What does Alex
just-
describe them as?
Psychotic or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I felt it even go to the effort of, like, you know, having all the penguins like roles as if they were actually on a ship or something. You've like, you know, skipper.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a really good cartoon or animated movie for kids and adults. It's
I
something-
think it's well scripted as well. I like a good few lines like, you know, smile
Yeah.
and wave boys are cute and cuddly, cute
Yeah.
and cuddly.
it's the kind of movie you can quote.
Well, it made all the money in the world. Its budget was 75 million and its box office was over 532 million.
So see, it's
So
just.
we'll probably be seeing Madagascar films for years to come.
I hope not. That'll just be dragging the whole out of it now. In all fairness.
So moving on to our next film, The Longest Yard, starring Adam Sandler. Guys, what do we think?
Shite.
Oh, I like it, but I've
Oh.
seen it before.
I thought it was okay. Who wants to describe the plot?
Well, it was my movie, so I will. So, Adam Sandler is a guy called Paul Crewe, and it opens up with Courtney Cox, isn't it?
Yeah, she's tasty.
Going through this big party and everything. She comes upstairs and like she tries to dress him in a sailor suit, and he gets all thick and he goes off, steals her car, and he's drunk, and he's already on probation, isn't he, for shaving points? He's an NFL player, which to me just means football player in America. I don't know what NFL means, but yeah. So then he gets sent to prison, and he basically sets up a football team there to play against the guards of the prison, who are complete and utter arseholes. And it's just all about the kind of brotherly bond that football creates, and prison, and
There's another fucking
guards
cliche
being
sports
dickheads.
yoke.
Yeah, but it has its funny
Oh,
moments.
Jesus fucking Christ. What funny moments. All the hilarious Happy Madison style. I don't want to harp on about Happy Madison and Adam Sandler because there's already enough of that in the world, like, and I don't want to be a broken record, but yeah, everyone knows he's fucking shocking.
Well,
First of all, there was two great things in it for you. Courtney Cox's tits.
Yeah, for about 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds, I couldn't take. That's all I could concentrate for the first 5 minutes. I didn't even see her face. I was like, "Who is that?" All I can see is these tits.
She never
and I'm a
returned.
straight woman.
And then she was gone as soon as your man went to prison.
well, as Richard mentioned earlier, this movie was produced by Happy Madison, which is Adam Sandler's production company. And Happy Madison are a team of horrible scam, fraud, con artists.
If comedy was cancer, it would be Happy Madison.
They load their movies with all their other friends, their star friends. So like you had Kevin James, Adam Sandler, David Spade, all the rest. They absolutely jammed them with product placement. 95%, I guess, of the movie's budgets are above the line. So all the money goes to paying these stars, and then the movie itself is absolutely dreadful because it's a phoned-in piece of shit. That's all they do now. So we've seen Jack and Jill, which was just nothing but scene after scene after scene after scene of product placement. Same with Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Grown-ups.
Which was set entirely at the Wynn Resort, so the entire thing is just an infomercial for the Wynn Resort.
But I liked The Longest
And
Yard.
I think if you want to see a really great expose on Happy Madison Productions, watch Red Letter Media's review of Jack and Jill. It is fantastic.
But we're not talking.
That's why I'm not going to
Jack
harp
and
on
Jill.
about Happy Madison. They said everything already. Like,
Well, I just want to make it clear
Yeah.
that Happy Madison are the scum of the motion picture
they are the
industry.
cancer of comedy.
But are you seriously saying you didn't laugh at anything in this?
No,
film?
I actually
I
kind of
laughed
liked it.
more at Schindler's List.
But this movie...
You have turned into him this week. You have turned into Connor. You just don't like anything. You're very critical of all the
I
films.
like
this
Madagascar.
week. Yeah, but you just, I don't know. You didn't seem like you were loving it.
Well, the Longest Yard had some effort put into it. You know, there was things in it to like.
I will say, it wasn't much of an Adam Sandler movie. It was just a really fucking boring sports film. Like, you know, it starts off as a fucking apathetic lad pushed in to look after a team, and then fucking, oh, my boys, I end up loving my boys at the end.
Well, the problem with it is it's a comedy, but it's also a sports movie, and they gel, but they don't gel too well. It's just the movie ends up being bland because it's not funny enough for people who want to see a comedy, and it's not enough of a sports movie for people who want to see a sports movie.
They gel like shit and vomit into a nice puddle, but it's still shit and vomit. Also, I hate the way in every fucking prison movie, there, cops are mean, guards are bad guys.
Well,
Jesus Christ, give it a rest. I
These
know
are
they shoot.
clearly some type of, like, you know, they where they send all the super buff prison guards from the entire country all want to work in this one prison.
Yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't unrealistic. I just thought there were some funny bits. I didn't think it was like the worst movie.
No, I thought it was okay as well.
Oh, that was crap.
One thing I enjoyed about it was
And I like Adam Sandler.
a ton of the guards and the cons were played by ex-professional wrestlers. So you had former WWF champions Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Nash, the Great Khali, and Goldberg from WCW. Obviously, none of those names would mean anything to you, but to an old wrestling fan from the 90s like myself.
Really?
I would have
Pretty
never taken you as a wrestler.
Never.
I would have said Glows into wrestling before you were.
I was a wrestling fanatic when I was a kid.
Cannot
Oh
imagine
my
that.
God.
Can't imagine it.
Did we never have this conversation before?
No.
We had it with me yesterday, but I'm pretending I'm hearing it for the
Like
first time.
Wrestling? You're just not. You seem like the guy who was probably playing with his train set rather than wrestling.
That's perfect.
No, I loved wrestling when I was a kid, and it had the two biggest stars from when I was a fan of wrestling. Stone Cold, who was the main guy in WWF, and the other wrestling promotion, which was WCW with Goldberg, and you had them in the same scene.
So it's like the Super Smash Brothers
So
of
was that
wrestling.
like-
Exactly, yeah. It was a big thing. It was like
a turn on for you, was it? You just screamed your
it's like some massive football star and some massive rugby player in the same. You know, that's the equivalent of it.
But like, I just can't get over you. I can just
Yeah,
imagine you with
it
your
is
little
really
train
odd.
cap and your train set. I just can't imagine you be like, yeah, come on, get him.
Well, I'm not anymore, but I was.
That must have been a long, long time ago.
It-
I just can't.
I stopped.
So alien.
I stopped watching wrestling when I was 12, 13.
I just that will take a while to kind of sink in.
Also, what's his face? Collector or Chris Rock's death, you know, like, you could see that. Well, Helen Keller could see that from fucking space.
Oh, you
like,
son of a bitch! That was my line.
He, he.
Well, we're recording that again.
Oh, good lord, you narcissist.
I was the one who spotted that. Now, to be fair,
I don't think you spotted. I think everyone, as soon as they
Yeah.
press play, he's gonna die.
and now, come on! I said
Well,
that.
I've seen it
Oh, it's
before.
so violent.
I said that to Karen, and she was like, "Have you seen this before?"
Yeah, because we all thought it when we see it before.
The only death that was more obvious was Hilary
Oh,
Duff's
this-
brother in Raise Your Voice. That was the only more fucking contrived, obvious death I've ever seen in a
All right,
film.
never mind. I won't bring it up. So I'll just move on.
No, but like, it is kind of something bad was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
He was the best friend, and he had no kind of purpose other than.
Being best
Plot
friends.
device striving.
I mean, what was he going to do? Like, oh, he got them jerseys. I mean, what did he actually do that was really great for the team?
Have any of you guys ever watched a game of American football?
Yes, there's too many ads.
I remember I watched like the Super Bowl from like 2004. It was the New England Patriots or something. And you think it's going to be like rugby, but then they get tackled and the game stops. And they have to set up again, and then they get tackled again, and the game stops again. It's so boring.
Or then they just run for 10 seconds, take a halt. Try our new Gillette Fusion Cold Dream in your Ford Fiesta.
There are ads every 2 minutes.
It's ridiculous. Like, why do they need a fucking 10-hour halftime show?
It's like a pussy version of rugby.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But it's the most monumentally boring thing.
It is. It's
but this movie actually
dreadful.
manages to make it look somewhat exciting.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of football.
Well, that's because you can cut the whole setting up part.
Yeah, but after watching this, if I knew nothing about American football, I might think, damn, I might want to check that out. But knowing what I know about NFL,
but I think most movies make it, like, I always thought it was an exciting thing. I'm not into sports, so I never wanted to watch it, but I never knew you had to set up after every tackle.
Yeah.
So I think most movies kind of.
Well, that's because in rugby, as long as you can get the ball back, you can start moving again.
Because they're not bitches in rugby.
It's a bit
But there's
weird.
also more, like, you know...
What's it called? The scrub or something?
The scrum.
The scrum.
Scrum, sorry.
Even I knew that.
Yeah, I should know that. I was a rugby player. Yeah, that's a bit gay.
What?
Like, they're all, like, from what I heard, they're all kind of like...
They're just interlocking their
trying to grab
shoulders
a
and
ball,
heads.
They're trying to grab a ball, not each other's balls.
Yeah,
But the guys in the scrum don't grab the ball. It's the...
Well...
That's just your gutter mind,
just
Gloria.
Or
you're just fantasizing about these big hulking lads.
Like you just...
I think you just like the idea of big hulking lads scrubbing together in tiny shorts.
They do have some horrible camera angles in rugby.
Yeah, it just looks like...
That's just unfortunate.
It just looks like they're all grabbing things. I'm like, oh my god.
Or the guys in the scrum don't move. They keep their shoulders interlocked. They don't
Yeah,
scrummage
but
down.
like, there is someone down below, isn't there, trying to get the ball out.
He goes out around the back.
The only gay thing about rugby players is a lot of them seem to wear pink V-necks. I just noticed that about rugby players. Pink V-necks and pink polo
That's
shorts.
right. They do wear pink a lot.
Yeah.
What's with that?
Well, maybe
Pink
they
is the
just
new black.
know that it looks... I'm not saying that rugby players are gay. I just think that just can look a bit wrong.
Gutter
There's
mind.
nothing wrong with them if they all are. Fair play to you.
Gutter mind.
Vote yes. That's my opinion.
Gutter mind.
Oh wait, will that vote be over by the time
Probably. I
this
hope
comes out?
Well, that would be the edit for if it isn't, and if it is, I hope you voted yes.
Yeah.
And sure, if they voted no, I'll edit Gloria to say vote no.
Oh my god, who's even running the no
Who's
campaign?
the star now, Gloria?
Oh, you
History
fucking
is written by the winners.
Do you really... Nobody will listen to this if they think we've...
Oh, don't get into this.
Who
Let's
even
finish it
is
first.
running the no campaign? Arseholes, that's who. Anyway,
Dr. No.
The Longest Yard, so it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, it wasn't the best. It had some funny moments. What else? Like, it made money.
Its budget was 82 million and its box office was 190 million.
I'm actually going to cry.
190.3 million.
Well, I mean, all these
Now who's
box
the
office
star,
returns.
bitch?
Well, all these box office returns are something point something. But I just leave out the point because
Yeah,
why
but
bother?
that's not very accurate, you know. As the
But that's why I say
as
over.
the host, you should be more accurate, you know.
Burt Reynolds was in this.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He looked remarkably healthy.
So was Big Man. Well, I should have said that will do, Pig Man. Big Man makes it sound weird.
Oh yeah, guy from Babe was in this as well. He was also in Star Trek First Contact.
It's just me or does Star Trek seem to pop up in all our podcasts?
No.
Like Star Trek seems to be me with Steven
There was
Seagal.
tons of people. Nelly was in this as well.
Oh yeah, is he still alive?
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Sorry. Fitzy. Oh, Richard is removing his clothing. Oh my god.
You said me to.
I was singing, I wasn't giving you a demand.
Fuck's sake. No crack.
You just like getting naked.
Of course you do.
I'm surprised that me and Karen have not actually seen you like start naked yet.
Not yet.
Fitzy has.
He sure has.
Numerous times, poor guy. Not that you're not
Poor
beautiful.
guy.
Not that you're not beautiful, but it's kind of an awkward situation to see someone naked.
I just leave.
Trust me, I know. I've been through it.
So, moving on to our last movie of this episode, Unleashed, starring Jet Li. Richard, do you want to describe the plot of Unleashed?
I do, boy. It's Jet Li, and he's owned by Bob Hoskins, who's basically this fucking you what mate kind of gangster lad, and
Geezer,
yeah, and fucking he has him on a chain and he keeps him in a hole and feeds him tins and only lets him out to fight and to exercise, basically kind of like a fighting dog or something like that. And your man's mind is kind of regressed; he can barely speak English and barely survive outside. And one day, basically, there's an accident. He runs out with the car. Oh, sorry, no. Before the accident, he meets Morgan Freeman, and he teaches them the piano. So he gets a knack for piano, and he runs off during the accident, and somehow magically finds Morgan Freeman again, who's looking a lot like Ray Charles because he's blind and plays piano. And then they're at his house with his adopted daughter, Carrie Condon, and he likes that life. But then turns out Hopkins isn't actually dead, and he wants to get him back. But Jet Li, Danny boy, he doesn't want to be a dog anymore. He wants to be, nice and piano and doesn't want to kill people.
This to me felt like a really long, fucked up version of EastEnders, but I liked it.
I don't
That
see the
makes
comparison.
literally
yeah.
just your man's accent. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
and the fact
all
that
it is.
there's like.
And they're in Glasgow as well.
Just
like,
his
they're in
accent,
fucking
and then
Glasgow.
it went from such an extreme mix of violence to like really homely kind
That
of.
kind of threw me off at first, but then I kind of thought this is doing something different now. I kind of like it.
But EastEnders has no budget. I mean, and it has no
action,
and it has no artistry.
no
to it whatsoever.
swearing,
Yeah.
no Chinese or black people.
Okay.
The only thing that
Don't
is
attack
remotely
me.
comparable is it's kind of dingy and there's a guy with a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, guys.
That's like saying Cowboy Bebop's like Star Wars because they're both in space.
So Bob Hoskins has had a kind of a sad career. He was a big thing when he started in Roger Rabbit. He was a really unique.
And now he's someone that I thought was in EastEnders. So.
Fuck's sake. That's an it. He is fucking crawling in
God,
his.
Fitzy is going to kill me.
He is rolling.
I just triggered a Fitzy moment, and he's going to get me.
Bob Hoskins has just spun 720 degrees in his grave right now.
Is he dead?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh wait, like the actual.
The actor lad, yeah. He died last year.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Didn't mean to offend you.
So Bob Hoskins has had a really interesting career. He was a really big thing when he started in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he was a really unique leading man. First of all, he was British. He has a Cockney accent. He's kind of old and kind of fat, but he's a great actor. But then he was in that fucking horrible Super Mario Brothers movie.
That fucked him up for life.
And that just destroyed his career. And ever since then, he's been in like B movies and maybe like like 2-part TV dramas. Like he was in that ITV The Lost World, but he's never made it back to that leading man Hollywood stardom that he had, which is a real shame because, like I said, the man is a great actor, and I thought he was fantastic in this.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I was just joking about EastEnders.
Nothing like it. There is no one in EastEnders who can hold a candle to him.
It's just because you two seem to love him so much. I like winding you up.
He's like the English Danny DeVito. He's unreal.
Yeah, he is like the English Danny DeVito.
And Jet Li was good in this as well. I just thought he was good as Dogman.
Morgan Freeman's always good.
I think I must be getting too old for this world because I'm kind of bored of Morgan Freeman.
I love him.
He's just become a fucking
He's
kind
just
of.
like one of those voices that just makes you feel sick.
He's just become Morgan Freeman now. He's like William Shatner essentially now.
Like I would love to.
No,
be
he is
sitting there
nothing
drinking
like
his
William
potato
Shatner.
and leek soup, like just talking to Morgan Freeman.
It's not that I didn't think. I thought Morgan Freeman was fantastic in this, but I've no idea why he'd want to do a movie like this.
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird for him. Like,
yeah, it's
like half English French production.
I wonder what about the script attracted him to.
Maybe he
the
just happened to
production.
be in England at the time.
It's a really odd film. It's got a weird mix of sort of feel-good drama and French art house and of course kung fu cinema, and it puts all these things into. Yeah, but they gel far better than maybe The Longest Yard did when they was mixing genres. But it just made me wonder, like, who in the name of God were they marketing this film towards? I mean, not that I didn't love it. I really did, but action movie fans don't give a shit about some guy
Maybe
finding
they
a new
weren't
family.
thinking of marketing. Maybe they were thinking of...
You always think of marketing.
Not always. Some companies
And
just
Well,
make
the marketing
something
could have
and
been
say,
advertised.
Let the marketing people figure out how we market this.
Like, I don't know how this was advertised because I didn't see the trailer, I didn't see the posters for it, but like, it could have been advertised solely as an action flick
I
or
think
solely
it was.
as a slice
it
of
was.
life.
It was marketed. No, it wasn't marketed as a slice of life. I think it was marketed as a straight up action movie, and they tried to sort of hide the fact that it's actually more of a drama,
Yeah,
which was the smart move.
there is a lot of slice of life in this. Like, at first it threw me off, but then I grew to like it actually. Your one though is kind of, I don't know what it was. She seemed weird. Carrie Condon or Condom.
Well, you had a real problem with her.
At first,
You didn't like her braces, you didn't like her age, and then you find out she's from your own
Thurles.
home county.
it's from Thurles.
Yeah.
Thurles is the worst place.
What's
to
wrong
take.
with Turles?
It's
yeah,
a
but
fucking
it's still
dive.
Tipperary.
So.
Okay, that's offensive to all our Thurles listeners. Richard.
Oh, I'm sorry, all 0 of you.
What's wrong with
Well,
Turles?
no, in
It's-
fairness, I read on her Wikipedia page she ran away when she was 16 to pursue her career in acting. That will tell you how shite it
It's
was.
just a place. What's so good
It's
about it?
fucking terrible. It might as well be Offaly.
Is she supposed to be trying to do an American accent?
I couldn't tell if she was trying to be American or Scottish because she kind of looked like a robot. She's meant to be 18, but she looks like she's in his early or mid-20s. And she braces, which is just a personal pet peeve.
So yeah, the fighting scenes are a joy to watch. It's so cool when you're used to really sort of overly edited action movies. American ones usually disguise the fact that the actors in it can't really fight, but Jet Li can really fight. So you see all the fighting choreography done in really long takes because the guy's really doing it. I mean, don't you think that kind of stuff is just spectacular?
It is, yeah.
It looked. It was
It's very
visually
Korean-like,
good,
which is
yeah.
great.
Especially that fight they have in the bathroom cubicle.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a small space, and like, the way they moved, it was cool.
I know they must
Very
have
cool.
gotten some master choreographer to do that.
Yeah, without them.
I wonder, like, did they have to take many scenes of that because they'd have to keep replacing those fake walls either side of the cubicle so
yeah.
they could bash their heads against it a few more times.
I
So
wonder,
every time they had a punch, that was another hole in the.
Yeah.
I wonder how many takes you could have done of these fighting sequences because they're all like these shots going for about 15 or 20 seconds. Like how many of them could he have done because they must be fucking wrecked afterwards, right?
I thought it was a bit extreme. That's the only thing I thought was a bit like, what the fuck. Do you know when they were in the pit and they basically, he was like, oh, can I mess with the format or whatever, and then he dropped a load more people in, and then he dropped like all these weapons in, and I was like, this is a bit extreme, and why is there 4 of them against one person? How's he still going in the name of God?
Yeah, and then Bob Hoskins shoots his opponents.
Yeah,
Well, the Jet Li
that's
character-
like count.
Yeah, I know that's not what the people paid to see.
But with Jet Li though, like he was the character Danny Boy. Like when he was about 3, he was kidnapped. He did nothing but fight.
He
Then
was
so
older than 3.
well, yeah. Well, still though, he's like 5 or 6. He still could have, easily taken on about 50 of those gimp lads because that's all he did. Like was fight. He was literally a dog.
Yeah, but I just don't like. It was just completely like. Do they really do that shit in those? I know they have fights where they're like it's illegal and everything, but is it really fight to the death? And is it really 4 people with fucking axes and sledgehammers against one guy?
I think Turles has a few spots like that actually.
Usually when you're watching an action movie, you're just doing it to see fighting or whatever else, car chases. But if an action movie can also make you care about the characters, then it's
Yeah.
really done its job well. And
And
I
did.
did genuinely care about Jet Li's character and Morgan Freeman's. And I think it's easy to empathize with a character who tries to escape their world for a better life.
Why?
Especially if he has that world then ripped away from him, like something like James and the Giant Peach, or
Is James in the Giant Peach? That's bringing me back.
well, remember James. Now it's been so long since I've read the book, but going from the film, he's living with these 2 horrible aunties, and then he goes to live in the Peach with his new family, and then he kind of has that ripped away from him when they get back to New York, and his 2 aunties find him.
What happened to
It's
his
the-
parents in that movie?
It's the same kind of formula.
What happened to
you
his
know?
parents? Do you remember like his parents got killed by a rhino cloud or something? That always threw me off.
A rhino.
It's just like, this is James and he has a family. One day a rhino came out of the sky and killed them. It's like literally just said that.
Well, in
and
the
then he
book-
lived with his 2 bitch aunts.
In the book, it was but a rhino escaped from Dublin Zoo and killed his parents.
So then they couldn't say a
But-
rhino escaped from the zoo and a rhino just fucking came out of the clouds and
But yeah, in the movie, it's just a visual metaphor. You see a dark cloud in the shape of a rhino. But never mind, we're just talking just using it as an
So that's
example.
just something that came back to my head and was pissing me off.
So I thought this was one of the best movies we've watched of the entire
I
podcast.
really liked it. I didn't think
Yeah,
I
I
would,
really
but
liked
that's
it.
just, I had no idea what to expect. Going from just a title and like I think it was Richard's very, very vague description of what this film was about.
That was my
I-
dad's fault.
I had no idea what to expect. I really liked it. It was
And
quite
it was
intriguing
hard to
and
predict
different.
as well because it
Yeah.
kept switching
I
genres.
thought it was going to be scary
Yeah.
from Richard's description,
The reason-
and it just was not scary.
I picked this
at
film
all.
because the Outlet was telling me about it one time. We were having a chat about Bob
you picked
Hoskins when
this
he
film
died.
because Bob Hopkins.
Yeah,
whatever
and
was in it.
fucking my dad was saying he was telling me about it, and he said, "Oh, it's really scary." And I think he must have watched the first 2 minutes or something because about 15 minutes later on, it's a slice of life. And
They're
even
having potato leek soup.
even the first 10 minutes, even the first 10
Smelling
minutes aren't
bread.
scary. They're just fight scenes. Like I
Yeah.
thought, I was expecting a lot more fucked up imagery in this, especially
from a
synopsis,
guard.
yeah, or a synopsis where a lad is like chained up like a dog. I was expecting to be way more. I was expecting to be all limp and ragged and shit. Like someone who
Richard's
has
dad is a guard. He should not be afraid of a couple of fighting scenes. I mean,
Oh, he hates blood.
Maybe that's why he was so afraid because he's seen the horror.
He's seen the horrors of Turnus.
I can't imagine anyone in Tipperary being able to fight like that.
So typically, the best film of the four made the least amount of money. The budget was 45 million, and its box office was only 50 million.
That's not a whole.
Maybe
Well-
that's because it wasn't marketed.
And then the director went on to make 50 Taken movies.
Yeah, well, Luc
Which I have no
Besson.
problem with. I have no problem with. I like Taken.
Luc Besson is an incredibly hit or miss director. I liked his first three films, the Fifth Element,
That's amazing.
Leon, and La Femme Nikita, but he's really just given up now.
Although
But,
he wrote it and produced it, but I don't think he directed it.
No, he just wrote it. So anyway, guys, of the four movies, which was your least favorite? Which was your favorite?
My least favourite was Monster-in-Law.
And your favorite was?
Unleashed.
I like Madagascar because I like I liked
Well,
it
I
back
like
then.
Madagascar too,
Well,
but
For film wise, like the best film, it'll have to be Unleashed.
From worst to best. Oh yeah, worst to best. Longest Yard, Monster-in-Law, Madagascar, and then Unleashed.
And my favorite was Unleashed, and my least favorite was Monster-in-Law, surprisingly enough.
so wait, you have turned into him. He agrees with us, and you have a different view.
So anyway, that about wraps us up for this episode of the Decade Old Podcast. We'll be back next month with a review of movies from June of 2005. The Decade Old Podcast has a Facebook page, so why not give us an old like there? But until next month, it's goodbye from me, Conor Geary.
Me, Gloria Shannon.
Bye for me, Karen Sullivan.
And me, hell yeah.
You know who he is because he's a star.